Hey Kaiki, Richard Metal Fan Tala. I'm bringing you guys an old school album review, and today we're going to be looking into this album's 15th anniversary, and it's from one of my favorite bands from the melodic death metal genre. And as you can see, well, the title today we're going to be talking about Eclipse by Amorphis, the band's seventh album released on March 21st, 2006 here in the US. I know it was released like a month prior in other countries, but we're going to be talking about like the anniversary well here in the States. So the band's seventh album, now this follows up their previous album, which came out in 2003 or 4, called Far From the Sun. Now, Far From the Sun was actually a little bit different album, but I mean, with every album like that Amorphis has done, they've always taken a different approach. Like they always had like the elements of progressive metal and then some more ambient kind of like psychedelic shit. I thought Far From the Sun was a little bit different, and in all honesty, it's a good album. I'm not gonna shit on it, but it's like my least favorite. But I think this album is definitely a return to form. And after the previous album, one of their old vocalists, Pasi Koskinen, had left the band, and then on this album is actually the first album with their current vocalist, Tomi Jutten, and I think is a great addition to the band. I think this album is definitely has like that old school style of Amorphis. Well, and this album has a lot more kind of like folky elements while still containing like just the melodic death metal stuff. And I think Tommy has like a great contrast. He does like both the harsh vocals and he does clean vocals, and I think he does it really well. And just the guitar work is definitely great. Esa Hopinen and Tommy K's guitars are great. The bass from Nicholas, I kind of wish was a little bit audible. Drumming wise, Santori Kellio, like the keyboards definitely add like a lot of ambience and a lot of atmosphere to it. And drumming wise, Jan Reckberger's drumming is really good. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the song Two Moons. Now, it features some great screams and some great chorus, and this track, I feel like it already adds something completely new into like the diverse sound that Amorphis has, with sort of like an electronic approach, especially in the beginning of the song. Has some good drum loops and some good folk patches, and it's only like 3 minutes, but I feel like there's more details, experiment, and a lot of innovation than what you've heard from other bands put in albums. Then we move on to the next song, which is called House of Sleep. Now, this is one of the best rock songs I've heard in years, and this song is just simply fucking great, right? And with and it's just really just catchy, and just the piano work, especially during the last minute of this song, is absolutely exquisite. Next song on the album is called Leave Scars, and this is actually the first song on the album where the death metal vocals are just really just high up there. But in Amorphis, there's just not as harsh as overbearing per se, and they add like a lot of like atmosphere that this band seems to just conjure up. From Fire. Now this song has kind of like an almost positive kind of like feeling to it, especially in like the lyrics, like I have a mind, a good memory, here's how my life begins, I wasn't born from a woman's thighs but from fire. It is not like fully in there until like the second chorus, when Tommy definitely proclaims like, the day I was born they denied my mites even though I have a right to die. Some really great lyrics. Next song is Under the Soil in Blackstone. Now I feel like this is perfectly placed as like near the middle of the album. It's a very emotional piece with some great piano work at the beginning of the song, and this song just really builds and builds nicely, and it just grows heavier, and it has a really great climax with a fantastic guitar solo, and then the song closes back out with the piano, and then it just fades into the next song being Perkele, the God of Fire, which once again sort of like unites sort of like the folky passages and that calm chorus and just punching death metal verses, and it's one of the most straightforward like metal songs that Amorphis has written since like the Tales from the Thousand Lakes. There's a lot more kind of metal elements that shape the sound of the band once again. The Smoke. Now this song starts off with a piano to like gentle strumming, and then it goes into the verses, and the verses have like clean singing, but in the chorus has just same in death growls or joint, and that fits very perfectly. And there's another great beautiful guitar solo that follows as well as in the chorus. Same Flesh. Now this song has some distorted guitars and Tommy just showing his talent as a vocalist. And this song, I feel like, is a lot slower and quite drawn out. And the ending of this song is really good with some great melody that's being played. Next song is called Brother Moon. Now this is an epic song, and when I mean epic, I don't mean epic in the sense of like something from Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. I just mean epic in like the sense of like lifting and expanding one's soul that just takes you to places. This song pretty much mixing like the folk music and rock music with sort of like the undertones of heavy metal, along with like the lyrics like exemplifying that sometimes overbearing beauty of the natural world around us, which I think is a really good message behind it. And then we get to the last song on the album called Empty Opening, which I think is a good way to end the album, which features some very angry singing with some really great music to go along with it. Now overall, Eclipse by Amorphis is another good album. I feel like this is definitely kind of has like that old school style of Amorphis, but also having being kind of like a little bit of a folk metal kind of approach to it. So I'm going to give this album a score. I'm going to give Eclipse by Amorphis a solid 9.5 out of 10. So well done, guys. So thank you guys for watching this video. And as always, keep it metal. Kitos.